As if the McCrispy couldn't get any better, Bacon and Ranch just entered the chat. The Bacon Ranch McCrispy, available at participating McDonald's for a limited time. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
If overthinking, stress, or sleeplessness are becoming too much, try listening to a guided meditation for free on the Women's Meditation Network. There are a dozen podcasts that provide hundreds of guided meditations each month, like sleep meditations, morning meditations, daily affirmations, meditations for anxiety, and even water and nature sounds. Just search for Women's Meditation Network in your favorite podcast player and subscribe to listen now.
This is Optimal Startup Daily, episode 894, In Defense of Working Hard, by Margo Aaron of ThatSeemsImportant.com. And hey again, I am Dan, I'm your host here, and thanks so much for joining me today as we look to hear from another great author writing about entrepreneurship. And today, that is Margo Aaron of That Seems Important. And we have shared quite a lot of articles from her site over the years, and I'll tell you more about Margo after the post. But for now, let's jump into it as we optimize your life. In Defense of Working Hard, by Margo Aaron of ThatSeemsImportant.com. The internet exploded over the following line from Roxane Gay's New York Times piece this week, and I'm not sure I agree with the chord it's striking in people. Quote, "The greatest shame would be to reach the end of our lives and have the epitaph read, 'They worked really hard.'" End quote. I am aware Gay is arguing that your life cannot and should not be all work, but that's not what she wrote. "Had no life outside of my job" is sad, but it doesn't mean you worked hard or well. It means you had no life. I'm not sure the quality of having worked hard would be the greatest shame. The things I've worked hardest on are the things I'm most proud of. They're the things that most define me and the meaning I derive from my world. I work endlessly hard at parenting. I work hard at writing. I work ceaselessly on personal growth, self-reflection, and improvement. I work hard at sprinting up hills and doing squats. And if I'm telling the truth, the thing I would like to work harder on is work. My dad used to say no one gets to their deathbed and wonders if they should have attended more meetings. I appreciate this sentiment, only I think this applies to a certain type of workaholic who is missing other aspects of their life. I really want to attend more meetings. Perhaps because I felt left out of them for so long and am dying to get back in. Perhaps because I love what I do, and in my organization, meetings aren't a waste of time, but a coalescing of minds moving projects forward. When I worked at a marketing agency, meetings were disrespectful holes of mediocrity and stagnation. Still, I do not concede that people who attend meetings professionally are working hard. Quite the opposite. The workaholics I know have poor time management skills, horrible psychological health, no boundaries, low self-esteem, and get lackluster results. Hard work and workaholism are different. If Roxane Gay is standing against workaholism, aka addiction to the illusion of working, busy for the sake of being busy, then I'm with her. But I like hard work. I think it deserves respect. I'm proud of the amount of work that went into repairing communication with my partner. I'm proud of the amount of work that went and continues to go into writing. I'm proud of the amount of work that goes into caregiving. I'm proud of the amount of work that goes into building and scaling a business. I'm proud of the amount of work I've put into my friendships and mental and physical health. I would be delighted if my epitaph let people know I worked hard. But, and this is a big but, that's because what I value is aligned with where I am spending my time. So many of us whose lives get eaten by work do not value what we do or why we're doing it. The majority of Americans don't feel that work is a beautiful extension of who they are. We're doing the work, even and especially when it's hard, feels self-honoring and fulfilling, where work fills your cup and lifts you up. Most Americans are in the obligatory category that fosters resentment and self-abandonment and perpetuates the hedonic treadmill of never enough. You're never good enough. You don't earn enough. You haven't achieved enough. You need to do more, be more, have more, make more, and try harder. This is not the foundation for healthy hard work. It's a recipe for how to find yourself in burnout, missing out on life and the beautiful moments in front of you. Gay writes, quote, "We should think about how to nurture who we are beyond what we do." End quote. Yes, and I contest having a system set up where my identity is defined narrowly, either by what I do for work or what I do for fun. When will we allow for the integration of the entire person? Part of who you are is what you do. You may not agree or like that part. I certainly did not like who I was when I was forced to work in menial jobs that killed my soul, but they were emblematic of who I was then and the value systems I upheld. I sought stability, credibility, and believed that the less money I made, the more legitimate I was as an academic. We should all take time to reflect on what gives us meaning, period. If working really hard is part of what gives you meaning, then there is absolutely no shame in that. Note, it matters that you know the difference between what gives you meaning and what feels good because I get validation and approval from others. These are not equivalent. The former is self-honoring. The latter will lead you directly to a life of quiet desperation. Work hard on the things that light you up. But first, you must discover what lights you up. You just listened to the post titled, In Defense of Working Hard, by Margo Aaron of ThatSeemsImportant.com. If your business earns millions or tens of millions in revenue, stop what you're doing and take a listen, because NetSuite by Oracle has just rolled out the best offer we've ever seen. For the first time in NetSuite's 22 years as the #1 cloud financial system, you can defer payments of a full NetSuite implementation for 6 months. That's no payment and no interest for 6 months. 33,000 companies have already upgraded to NetSuite, and it's #1 because they give your business everything you need in real time, all in one place. And the confidence that comes with having all of your information in one place really helps to streamline decisions, saving you time, money, and energy, all thanks to NetSuite's amazing offer. If you've been sizing up NetSuite to make the switch, then you know this deal is unprecedented. No interest, no payments. Take advantage of this special financing offer at netsuite.com/startup, netsuite.com/startup, to get the visibility and control you need to weather any storm. netsuite.com/startup. And thanks so much to Margo. She's one of our regular authors here, and you can come by thatseemsimportant.com to read more from her. And if you're curious about where the site name came from, there is actually a nice little section on her About page that I will share with you. She says, quote, I want you to start being honest about who you are and what you want, to stop judging yourself by other people's success metrics and start defining your own. In order to do that, we gotta shed the layers of BS you've acquired over the years and rewrite the invisible scripts that are running your life. If we have any hope of getting you to blend meaningful work and making money, we need to get through the muck of the emotional baggage we'd prefer to ignore. So we're going to talk about that, because that seems important. End quote. So there you have it. That's Margo's philosophy. That's what her site is all about. And again, you can check it out at thatseemsimportant.com. And with that, we've wrapped up today's episode, which I hope you enjoyed. And I'll be back with you tomorrow bringing you more great content on entrepreneurship. And that is where your optimal life awaits.